Jamie Satterfield of Knoxville News Sentinel. Since I was involved in that study, I'd like to address the factual things. One is that there is no safety guideline for the amount of coal ash that you can breathe, drink, or in any way have exposure to. There is no standard. What there is a standard for, and what Dr. Vengosh is telling you, is that for each ingredient, there is a standard. And so for each ingredient, it may well not be at a level that's considered unsafe. Many of the constituents of coal ash aren't regulated, so there are no standards. So that's the first thing you need to understand. There are no standards. This is brand new. This county really is going to be the county that leads the state in coal ash in terms of what we do, because the EPA doesn't have a standard.
That's true.
So, the way I like to explain it when I'm talking to groups is you take a bowl, put a little arsenic in it, put a little selenium in it, put a little radium, a little uranium, and you just keep adding deadly substances on top of each other. And what you have is a brand new bowl of shit that's dangerous. You don't have little pockets of arsenic and get a little sample of this one. These are all mixed together. And because for so long this country has not regulated coal ash, we don't have any health standards. So my fear, what keeps me up at night, is that in Kingston, I'm probably going to get fired, but I'm just going. What happened at Kingston was that workers were exposed 8, 10, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, many of them for years, some for months. And they were exposed to coal ash dust every day. And so their bodies are proof of what it does. It would be great if coal ash caused one cancer, and we could say everybody with thyroid cancer who's worked around or lived around coal ash is responsible for it. That's why this stuff is so dangerous. Jason has lost hair on his legs. He's got all kinds of skin ailments. That's from the radiation. Now, coal ash is not like it's glowing. It emits levels. So, when you are standing near it, it's not frying you. It's about, they tell me, the equivalent of getting 4 x-rays a day. Now, I want you to think about him. But the real problem is when you breathe it in, because then this radiation is in the body. And it just depends. If you're lucky, and maybe it only hits your kidney, or maybe you're lucky and it just causes skin cancer, or maybe you're like Doug Bledsoe and it causes brain cancer and you die, or maybe you're like Ansel Clark and it causes 4 different rare conditions that just don't happen and die. I didn't start this coal ash investigation to do anything but find out what the hell is this stuff. I've never heard of it. I live in Sevier County. Never heard of coal ash. I can't sleep at night knowing. Do you know how many times I've been over at that park and just prayed and just prayed? You see those black marks she's talking about on that? Those are cut into it. It's not dirt. It's not a stain. It's what coal ash does. It eats paint. It corrodes washing machines. It takes the paint off your houses. That's why TVA used to give you a car wash. And sometimes they'd repaint your house. Because they knew. They knew. And they still know today. They didn't fight me at all on the ball field. Can you believe that they built a ball field out of radioactive material? If I was the manager of McDonald's and I went and threw hot oil all over the fry cooks, I am guessing I'm going to be arrested. But TVA can build a ball field Satterfield out of radioactive material and tell no one. And here's what happens, and this happens a lot in Claxton, because I've seen it happen to Jason and other people. People go, well, you're just fat. You don't eat right. If you're not healthy, it's your fault. It's not TVA's fault. It's not that plant's fault. Oh, really? Oh, really? Well, I tell you, I'm pretty healthy because I don't breathe in radioactive material. The people in Claxton, they're not only suffering unaware. Y'all could at least give them the information so they could go to their doctors and get a blood test, because a blood test will show each one of you and anybody that takes it if you've got elevated levels of these constituents of coal ash. And that way a doctor can start giving you appropriate diagnosis and treatment, something these workers never got. Y'all can save lives. I don't care if you close the playground down. I don't live here. But these people care. And a lot of people just don't know. I go over to that playground and I said to this lady and her two cute little kids, she was sweet as could be. Her daddy worked at Bull Run his whole life. Of course, he died early. And she said he always thought it was the coal ash. And I said, honey, I'm not supposed to do this, but you don't need to be bringing your kids here anymore. And I told her about the coal ash. She brought her kids there every day. She's a good mama. And when I gave her the right information, she quit bringing her kids there. I'm sorry. I hope y'all understand. I'm not mad. I don't get extra pay for any of this. And I don't want any credit. I want people to see God, not me. But you all can protect children starting today. And you can hold TVA accountable. Hell yes, they ought to build all this stuff. Now, I may need a donation or two because I'm going to get fired for doing this. But I had to. God required it. Thank you.
Thank you, Satterfield.